This is just going to be a silly little tutorial, and there's probably a lot of different ways that you can do it, but I'll show you how I did it really quickly in CreateStudio using only what was in CreateStudio, and I'm talking about these little emoticon, made it into an emoji just to be silly in this video. Now, just so you know, these scenes are, I think it was last week that they gave these to us, so they can be found here, and you can search through them. Whoops, the sound came up because I was hovering over it. So I used this one, and I'm trying to scroll without the sound. Where's the other one I used? Well, it doesn't really matter. I don't want to take too much time for that. But oh, here it is right there. And then that one. So you can use those scenes as well if you want. Anyways, so I thought I would show you what I did for these. So I added a link here, and I already had to stop and restart because I forgot where I found the exclamation points. So I had to look for them. So here, I just put in question, and the question mark came up. So then I just click and dragged. You can drag it right here. And then what you're going to see is it's pretty large. So I just sized it. Then I just grabbed the side. You can see where it goes from the arrow to that little bar with the two nodes, and I can turn it. And then I just did Command D to duplicate it. And I moved it over to the other side. And then I flipped it. Did I? No, I didn't flip it. I turned it again. Otherwise, the question mark would be off. So then I just moved it like that. And clearly I need to size this and position it a little bit better. But you get the idea. And then all I did was I selected both, Command G, and then I just duplicated the group again so it would have it a couple times. And that's all you have to do for the question mark. Now the other ones, the heart one was really the easiest. Well, the question mark was too. But if you go to your studio and you just put in heart, I used, which one did I use? This one, I think. And I just click and dragged it. I resized it. I turned it to just fit. I did Command D to duplicate it, move it to the next one. They're both kind of big, so I'm going to select both just to reduce them a little bit. Click off so I can select just the one on the right so that there's a little bit of separation there. And that's how I made the hearts. Now you can see that in idle, she does move back and forth a little bit. So what I did is I selected both of the hearts. I Command G for grouping. So now I can move them as a group. I might want to turn this. I'm not doing the best job of placing them right now. You'll want to play around with that to what size you want. But I have them, when I first did it, I also had them, I used motion in, scale up, and I reduced it a little bit just so that it would have a motion for coming in. Then I played around with a few different things, and my first thought was I was going to go to motion, loop, and just do a little swing. It would have to be a really small amount of swing. But I couldn't get it to time too well for that. So then I deleted that and I added a custom position animation. And I'll go back and look at that one, but what I did, here is where it starts. Then she moved just a teeny bit to the left. So I would just shift that over a little bit. And the trouble with the heart is it also, because they are a video file and they are scaling up and down as part of the video file, that also you end up seeing part of the eye. But I thought that was going to be okay. I might make it a little bit bigger and then it would hide it a little bit more. And then when it went here, I want to move this a little bit more. Then I added another animation of position. And let's see. She kind of moves to here. So I'm going to put that end keyframe and just move my heart a little. So it kind of follows very subtly, but without those, so let me delete those. Without those little movements, you can see where the heart stayed static instead of moving. So I'm just undoing so we can see it with the motion I put in there. It gives it a little bit more motion. I have to put another one in there because I don't like that. So I can always go to the last keyframe, add another position, and move it. So then it moves. So now let me show you the tears. The tears and the glasses are the same process that I did. So actually, let me show you the glasses first. The tears are a little bit trickier. So what I did is I went and I just got the cool, look, I got this one, I believe. I'm just gonna click and drag that to my canvas. I am going to scale it down. I might actually leave it up a minute and show you what I'm doing first. So what I did is I went to Effects and Components and I got the green screen and put it on the emoji. Now you might have a place where you have glasses you can use or teardrops that you could use. I don't have that. I don't know how to do that. And this was just a quick, easy video I was trying to make. So what I did is I just got rid of the yellow. So I did that as I was talking. So let me do that again. I went to green screen. I selected the color I wanted to get rid of, the dropper. Then I clicked and I selected. And you can see it's starting to get rid of that. Then I played with the similarity and I just kept going a little bit. Now, I want to just put this here for a second because I want to see how the glasses look. I'm not going to worry about that right now or that. The glasses look like it is okay and I didn't get rid of anything. So now I'm going to play just a little bit more. Smooth it out. You can also use smoothness, but see how now I'm getting rid of some of the black? I don't want that to happen, so I want to leave it like that. And the reason I'm not so worried about anything else that may be there, because I am going to detach the mask and get rid of all of that and only have the glasses. So I'm just gonna, see, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do this, leave a little bit for movement, although the glasses don't have much movement. Then I'm going to attach the mask and then I can size it to her eyes. If you see here, you can see I have a pointer. My cursor is a pointer. As I get closer to the edge, it's a little curve with those two nodes, so I can turn it and put it on. And actually, these are kind of big for her, but let's see what that looks like. I think what I also did is I might have sped it up a little bit using clip speed because I was trying to get the action in a quicker period of time, but you don't have to do that. I don't know if I like them that big. Sometimes I just use my 2-finger scroll on my Mac touchpad just to get in there. You can also use the zoom here, but I don't tend to use that. But let me show you the trickier part of this. I also did have this. I used a motion in, scale up, and I shortened it a little just so it had an entrance and it came up. But as you can see, Lenka moves a little. The eyeglasses do have the flip and do have a little motion in the file, but it kind of looks odd to just have the glasses stationary while she's moving. So I did try. My first thought was I was just going to use the loop, and I was going to use position, make it a small motion, whatever I did, but I couldn't get that to really work with the way that Lenka moved. So I deleted that and I decided to use custom animations of linear and position. Then what I did, so I would say that would be there. Maybe turn a little. I know I had it smaller, so I think I'm going to go back to the smaller. Then as she moves, she ends up here. I want to move these a little bit with her. Part of the problem is this wasn't quite on the bridge of her nose. So as you can tell, this is probably the biggest part of the job that I did because the templates were so easy to do. But now you can see the glasses move with her a little bit. I want that to move yet. Yep, they can start moving now and have them end here. I think the last time I did it, I moved both keyframes. You just want to move one to where she ends. Looks, now she's going back to the right. So I'm going to add another keyframe, position, linear, and move it. And now she's moving back to the left, so I'm going to add another keyframe, linear, position. And let's see, I didn't spend as much time on that, but at least it's going a little more. I'd probably time it a little bit more in there, but you get the idea. You might find loop works for you, and let me know how that goes. I love the loop motion. I just couldn't find a way for it to really work well with that. Now the laughing one was a little bit more, that was the trickier one. So I used this one. I'm going to drop that on. And then what I'm going to do is the same thing I did for the glasses. I'm going to get the green screen. I am going to remove the color, play with the similarity. Now for here, I want to go back to a black background because I want to make sure that the blue stays intact, which means I'm not going to be able to get rid of everything like that. But I'm not going to worry about it because like the glasses, I'm just going to detach the mask and do some cropping like this. So then I'll be able to get rid of some of those. Whoops, I also turned it by mistake. So let me attach it again. I'm zooming in, and you can zoom in using this. I tend to use my 2-finger scroll on my Mac touchpad. Let's go back to the green screen. Let's see how much we can get rid of. Now you can see that the blue is gone a little bit. So I don't want to go quite that high. Let's try 33. No. 32 looks okay. Remember, we're not going to be so close up either. These are going to be reduced. So I am now going to click on here, resize it. Now what I did was I had used my detach mask and just used one of these and duplicated it. But I think I actually did a better job of getting rid of the background, of getting rid of that color using the green screen. And I might not have to do that here. Let's see. I definitely see when I did it, clearly I didn't do as good a job. So let me show you what I did here. You can even see that it's coming, the color is being removed. So clearly I like the one I just showed you better. Here what I did is I don't know why I left it that messy. I must have just looked at the beginning and not paid attention. It looks good like that, but clearly as it went along it didn't. But what I did is I just had removed it, and then I cropped it like that with the mask, duplicated it, and made my tears like that. But I didn't really notice it as I played it. But what I just did with you is a whole lot better. So now I want to go back and fix the video I made. So you can see a little bit of the white right there. And you can see a little bit of the blue leaving there. However, when you're zoomed out to the size, you don't really see that. So play around with it. See what it is that you might want to do. Maybe one set going up, duplicate it. I could have turned that after. And one going down. Oh, I don't know if I like that, but let's see. So it's not perfect, clearly. I don't like that. It's clearly not perfect, but from a distance, and if you don't have any other way to do it and you don't have it there for too long, this is one way you can very quickly do it in CreateStudio. And it wouldn't take this long because I took longer showing you where everything was and playing around. But just a few ideas for you, and I'm sure you can think of some other ones. I didn't look through a ton of other ones, but you can use any of the different emotions, maybe even stars. So you could even do that one where it had the stars as eyes. You could get a little magnifying glass. There's a lot of things that you could do if you want to. So I hope this gave you some ideas, and I hope it helped in some way.